I did a video recently about changing your thoughts about your specific person to get them to change. And this person wrote, how do I think about them the way I want while also not putting them on the pedestal or above myself? Guys, a lot of you aren't even understanding what self-concept means. If you have a concept of yourself that you get rejected or ignored, then you're going to think they're ignoring you. I'm not talking about building them up and thinking they're great. I'm talking about thinking they love you, thinking they want you, thinking you don't get ignored and thinking they're not ignoring you. I'm not talking about building them up and making them holier than thou and better than you. You're not understanding what you're doing wrong here and what you're thinking wrong about them. What you're thinking wrong about them has to do with what you think wrong about you. That's your self-concept. So if you've got a dominant story that you get rejected in love and then he rejects you and then you get annoyed at him for rejecting you, you got to understand you pushed that out to him and he had no choice but to reflect back to you your dominant story that you get rejected. So the story you have to change is the story about you, darling, and then thinking he's not a guy that rejects you. I'm not talking about building them up and putting them on a pedestal. If you think that's what I'm saying about thinking lovingly about them, thinking good thoughts about them, I'm not saying build them up. I'm saying think the opposite of the shit you think about you in love and then align it with them and say they aren't doing that. They aren't ignoring you because you don't get ignored. They're not rejecting you because you don't get rejected anymore. You're loved. That's what a lot of you aren't getting, and that's why you're not getting success. And that's why the people in my manifestation following get success, because they understand, oh shit, what am I thinking about myself in love that's causing this? And then I have to change that thought about them because they're turning up that way. If you're not getting that, guys, please come and join my groups or at least get my course, because it will fix the fucking shit you're thinking and this terrible shit you're thinking that you have to put them on a pedestal, or that thinking better about them puts them on a pedestal. No, it doesn't. Don't you want to think well about them, good about them, lovely thoughts about them? Why would you want to think shit thoughts about your specific person? They'll just show up that way, okay? It's not putting them on a pedestal.